Okay, I hope I don't goof this up. I'm going to try to have a teeny bit of fun. I'm going to call this one Donald Trump and Sales Training. And listen, I have no problem with Donald Trump. So if anybody takes anything I say as negative, nothing was absolutely intended in that way. I've had a lot of people come to me lately saying, why is Trump leading in the polls? Why is it? Oh, it's crazy. And look, at one level, you're absolutely right. What is the negative? I mean, it is kind of shocking when you consider that the Republican Party is conservative, and it's mostly conservative on social issues, not fiscal issues, fiscal being financial and such. It's crazy. Donald Trump is not a conservative. He is not a social conservative at all. He is a New York dude, and most of the Republican Party hates New York. There's so much. He doesn't fit in 500,000 areas. His politics don't line up in 500,000 areas. There are areas, however, where his politics line up perfectly with the Republican Party. It's obviously why he's been there. And the guy isn't an idiot. Everybody kind of knows and respects that about him. But at the end of the day, people could keep saying, why is he leading? How can this be? How is this happening? And my challenge to you is this: because he leads, because he is confident, because even when he sticks his foot in his mouth and cuts his own throat, metaphorically speaking, I hope I'm not some hate speech for that, he doesn't stop. He doesn't sit down and cry. He doesn't, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, but no, he keeps moving forward, and he owns it, and he keeps stepping, and he's able to cover his own traps and his own mistakes, and he keeps charging till what he said that didn't work, all of a sudden you're like, oh, all right. The guy is a leader. He may be a leader, like a lot of people say, just because he's got such an ego and he's such a jerk and such a megalomaniac that he can't back off or whatever. I don't care. He's a leader. I will give some hate speech to many Republicans. Y'all are at least going to think I am. I'm not, but a lot of you are going to think I am. Ronald Reagan was not the second coming. He was not perfect. He was not the greatest conservative in the world. His economic policies were not the most wondrous gift of all time. Tax and spend that you cussed the Democrats for doing was his economic policy. The problems you have with Section 8 housing was his administration. There were mistakes. That said, I'm nitpicking to dig those out. The guy was great. The guy was the king. The guy was the best president since I've been alive, which is now 50 friggin' years. He is quite probably, he might be the greatest president since before Lincoln. It was phenomenal. But what was truly great about Reagan? He was a friggin' leader. When he looked at the camera, you knew it. When he looked at it and said it, you believed him. When that man stepped, he stepped. He didn't back up. He didn't get soft. He didn't get weak. He wasn't a crazed megalomaniac as much, but I don't care. He led, and we followed. Why did we follow? Because we want to follow. We want to be confident. We want to go down. We want a leader that knows. And I have so many tracks I would love to tack on this. I mean, I've got one, oh my gosh, I think it's the most important, but I'm going to avoid it. However, I want to put a pin in that for a moment and cover this. You cannot be an expert in everything. And that is not trying to create a you being an acronym. I'm just being silly. I text too much. You cannot be an expert in everything. And you know what? You know it. You know it. This isn't like, yes, I can. No, you know that. It's why we hire them. It's why we go to get an expert. If you are not a plumber, and most likely you are not, if it's a simple little thing, you probably do it yourself. But you didn't just go and say, I'm going to change that faucet. I've never done one before, and I'm not going to look at the instructions. I'm just going to do it. No. You had somebody that taught you, someone that was, at least compared to you, an expert. Or you get a book or a manual written by an expert that gives you step-to-step instructions how to do it. Or you hire a plumber. Why do you hire a plumber? Because he is a plumbing expert. And the more qualified the plumber is, the happier you are. Now, if your plumber walks in and he looks putsy and he ain't confident, he stammers around, well, you know, oh, your confidence is weak. If the plumber walks in, I don't care how he's dressed, how he looks, but he's got confidence and he's got a little grin on his face and he talks like he knows exactly about what he's doing, and you're explaining your problem, he goes, don't you even worry about it, ma'am, or sir, I've got it. Seen it 100 times, it's probably this. I got you handled. You know what you do? You go, an expert that knows, an expert that's got this. I am so happy. And if he gets in there and he was totally full of poo and he's just trying to keep you happy and calm and he starts digging in and he wasn't even close to what it was going to be, he don't walk up and go, well, I lied to you and I'm not really good. He comes up and says, all right, it wasn't what I was hoping it was going to be, but this is what the problem is and this is what it's going to take. And even if it hurts, even if you're shocked a little bit, you never doubt that you're going to pay the guy. Why? Because he put forth confidence, he put forth leadership. Now, plumber number 2 might be even better. But when he comes in and he looks at you and he's like, well, you know, this is it and this is what I think it's going to be. But he's insecure about the cost, he's insecure about where to go. At the very least, you're going to say, well, let me get back to you because you're going to get a second opinion. You want a leader. When you need advice, when you are looking for somebody expert and perfect, you look for an expert. It's not as easy with the plumbing, but let's say you need some psychological advice. You go to an expert. You know who you're going to listen to? The one that sounds strong, the one that sounds confident. We've covered this before. Why was Oprah? Why do you listen to her? Because my gosh, even I hear the woman and think she has to know what she's talking about. She has so much confidence and self-command when she is there. There's so much presence. Now, if she was absolutely right, I'm going to try to avoid this rabbit hole too much. If she was absolutely right, there would be no consenting or dissenting view. Doesn't matter, it holds. What you want is the leader. What you want is the person you go to. You know what you want out of an expert? Even more than you want them to really know what they're talking about, at the end of the day, you really do. But what is going to make the commitment that you are going to follow and trust that expert is the confidence and the absolute belief in themselves that they got this. That's what you're looking for. That is what Donald Trump is bringing. That is why right now he's leading. That is why the other side is doing everything they can to tear him apart. And notice, they're not going after him on policy because that's not why people are following him. People are not following Donald Trump because of his policy. They're following him because of his leadership. And so they are attacking his leadership to erode the following to get him brought down. Holy cow, are the liberals trying to do so. I don't know why they're so scared of the guy, but they are. And you know what you fear? You fear an opposing leader. You know who you fear? Not competition. You fear competition that's strong and confident. As you should, because leaders lead and people will follow. What does this have to do with you? It has everything to do with you. Because when you're selling, it is more important that you sell as a leader than anything else. You got this? You know it? Are you confident? Are you good? Latest technique we have learned that works well for us is when I have a new salesperson and I am training them here locally, it's the only place I can do it. Bring me in. Because I got this. I've done it too many times. I own this cell. So they do the bulk. They do the hour-and-a-half presentation. I come in for 3 minutes. But I can knock it out of the park on that end. Let the salesperson do the service. Let them be the nurse. I'll come in as the confident doctor, so to speak. But it's about being the leader. And the salesperson learns as well. And the salesperson gets to go through and they get to have had the experience. You know how you get that kind of confidence? You earn it. How do you earn it? By doing it. But always, and this is the old phrase, walk as if. And if you struggle with that, then get it. Walk as if you're the big gorilla, become the big gorilla. If you can't fake it, become it and be it. But walk with leadership. It isn't what you say. It isn't your policy. It isn't your price. It isn't anything as much as it is your competence. Our marketing will get the leads. Our materials will get that brought in. Your reputation will help you a ton. Your proposals will be huge. But if you do not exude, then you will not sign the contract. For many of you, it's why you have to bring in Michael down in Houston. I don't know how many times the success of the sale was them bringing you in for just a few minutes to be the confident person on construction. You couldn't stand, as I recall, the bloody-da of the sales and presentation say, but you were phenomenal because you knew your stuff on the construction side. I got this, we got that stuff, boom, no problem. Made it easy for the salesperson. Brilliant way to handle it. Strongly encourage you all to take advantage of such. Learn to have your own path on the leadership. It is the most important thing. And blessedly, you have a perfect example for now floating out there by the nickname of the Donald. So like him or hate him, vote for him or not, I don't care. But learn from him. It's an awesome opportunity. Thank y'all for listening. Hope you got something from it. Have a great day.